What's up, guys, or ladies, or people, YouTube audience members? My name is Charles. I am attempting to make a first video for what may become a channel, or may not. And the topic of that video for that channel is relatively loose, but it surrounds the idea of the Matrix and the idea of the devices that we're using right now. The device that you're using, the one that I'm using, as the medium between us, as sort of like our intermediary, or like a substance between the system, whatever. What I'm trying to say is that there is this technology, right, that we're using, and it's becoming almost like, as you're using it, unless you call attention to it, or someone calls attention to it, it's sort of becoming the water in which we swim. And that's a sign of a good technology, right? Also, there's, what is it? Like referees. They say that a good referee is one that you don't even notice. You know that they're there. You see them, but they're off to the side. They're not important. Wow, that light must be annoying to some of you. It's kind of cool though too. It's like a halo. I don't know if I said that already. This is my second time attempting a video, and I might just let it be shitty and raw, because I don't know, sometimes I like that kind of video. But I do want to angle it so it's not like just absolutely ridiculous glare. I don't know if that's quite possible. You know what I can do? I can do that, and maybe that will do absolutely nothing. What do you know? Alright, so you're just gonna have to deal with the glare. So, let me try and start again. I've had for a long time the idea to start a YouTube channel, and the channel would, I had a few ideas. One was more like a music idea, but as of yet, if ever, I have not started it, so it's not important. The other was that I'm just really interested in beginning to enter into some of these conversations that are taking place online, and I want to do it in a way where I can sort of use it as a journal for myself. I already do journal, but I don't think that there's anything wrong with having a secondary source, a secondary medium. And this one I could use as both sort of a journal and also a conversation piece, which is kind of strange. It's like sort of like a window where I can see through this into my own mind, but then it's there so that on the other side of the window you can see in to the other side. We'd both be looking at my mind though, so that analogy doesn't quite work. This is 4 minutes in and absolutely no substantial content yet. This is probably going to be a pattern. I am a rambler, and I'm also just kind of feeling weird today. My headspace is a little bit like, I don't feel like I'm able to grasp the words that I want to, and so I'm sort of dancing around what would be simpler phrases where I'd have words that I want. This is tea, by the way. It's pu'er tea from white2tea.com. I don't know, white2tea. He's a guy from China. In China, he ships tea. It's good. Excuse the slurps. It's not an ASMR video. Yeah, man. It's gonna be really hard for me to bring ideas, at least at first, and maybe this will be a process by which I hone my speaking abilities as well. But I think I'm just gonna put this up raw and just terrible, and let it be a first video and show, like, maybe I can watch my own progress as I begin to be able to put ideas together in ways that are concise and are useful to anyone else. Anyway, so it's a lot easier to have a conversation when there's someone giving you feedback. Right now, it's just I'm trying to speak as if I'm speaking to the people who will see this, including myself, but then also I don't have the benefit of writing, which actually sort of, like, the process of writing sort of pulls you along in some way, and this is not doing that right now. And maybe it's just my frame of mind. I don't know if I could write right now. I feel a little bit out of it. So I've chosen a terrible time to make a first video, but I'm doing it anyway. And yes, my content will be long because, you know, look at this. So here's my question: is we're using this medium, returning to what I was saying before, it's becoming more and more just part of our daily life. As Elon Musk says, we're already cyborgs, and that's a bit hyperbolic maybe, but I don't think he thinks so. I think it might be better understood as hyperbole, but I think he means it literally, and I think that it's more literal than some people realize. And then others, like myself, realize that, but it's easy to forget, and it's easy to ignore, and it's easy to just be a fish swimming in water and just not notice the water. So we're on this forward trajectory, and the momentum, it's like we're going sort of downhill, because there's a certain gravity to the increasing complexity of things, technology in this case. And I mean when I say technology now, I don't just mean phones. I mean, like, phones are the example we use because they're sort of the most, they're still, as much as we function oblivious to them, through them, without, giving much thought, they are the most obvious form of technology that is just, sort of the forefront of what we interact with. And the software and the content and things like that take place within that space is also, I don't know, something. We experience it through technology, if nothing else. I don't know if this content is technology, but it contains a lot of technology, like languages. It seems to be a technology. Anyway, so yeah, I just feel very, like, foggy right now. So we've got this momentum, gravity, complexity. It seems that perhaps there is a connection between complexity and gravity. And I don't mean necessarily literal gravity, but maybe I do. I'm not sure. Like, it seems like as these forces pull together, basically, as we make more complicated shit, more complicated shit happens. Like, things are being dragged. Basically, I'm trying to describe the idea of the singularity without using that term, which I have just used. It seems that there must be a point at which the complexity is, well, see, here's the thing, is I don't know that we can actually reach an infinite point. You know what I mean? Like, because, like, it's infinite. You can't reach it. You're either there or you're not, kind of thing. So we would have to sort of stand outside of the process or that object in some way. My phone's gonna die. In order to, like, as long as you're within an infinite process, you're not gonna reach the end. There's so many things that sort of stand in the face of that. But that's not my real point, so I'm gonna skip that. There will be a point at which, to our perception, we have reached infinite complexity. Because infinite to us will be what we perceive as infinite, which means it's just beyond our ability to perceive it. The human like eye can perceive, like, or brain or whatever, like visually humans can perceive, I think it's 20 frames a second. So if you're running something, I think actually, this is another Elon Musk thing actually, I think I saw it on Joe Rogan, 20 frames a second, something like that. So you got machines that, like his Tesla, I think, don't cite me on this or whatever, but like, I think he said that it reads like its visual capacity is 300 frames a second, or something like that. So there's more of the world that it's capable of seeing, and so to a machine, something that would appear infinite to us maybe wouldn't to it, because it's capable of seeing more there. So it would still be something fast or complex, but it wouldn't be, beyond our realm of, or its realm of capacity to function in or understand. But for all intents and purposes, we'll reach a point that is like the singularity. We're heading towards it, unless something happens. There's always the possibility of it all crashing. And honestly, I think it's an inevitability is that it will come down eventually. But like, when that happens, that the higher the tower is, the more destruction there's going to be. And we're building a tower pretty high, and like it's going like pretty fast now, and like the process, the faster it speeds up, the more minute the more the minute mistakes get magnified more rapidly than maybe we are capable of preparing for. And so, man, yeah, see, I'm just going on all these tangents. My actual point is that this water that we're swimming in, which is basically the medium of communication that we use now, is this sort of second body, effectively. Because technology, like these things, even though we think of them as these etheric mental realms, or like, I don't know if you do, but like, the internet is a place, but it's non-physical place. But at the same time, it actually kind of is a physical place, because it's located you go through this portal, and then there are spaces, like, as far, man, I'm an idiot, like, I don't know this is all guesswork and shit, but this is why I want to start conversing, is because I want people to tell me how things work, so that we can all put this stuff together. But there are physical centers where the internet exists, right? I think that people are working towards minimizing the physical and maximizing the sort of electromagnetic. And I mean, of course, then there's like the question of what the difference, like where the line between the electromagnetic and matter is, and I was trying to figure that out the other day. Like I know that there's something like light and matter clearly work together. There's just too many topics, man. Too many topics to try and understand all at once. But the medium that we use, like these phones or laptops, but increasingly phones, quote unquote, because they're not. I don't even think we're supposed to put these things up next to our heads. Like, they're not. They're screens. They're computers. They're communication devices. But I think they were combined probably so that we could phase out the phone, or at least as a byproduct, we are phasing out the phone, and moving towards text and video communication. Here's my real question. Will you enter the Matrix? Because you're looking at it right now. And I'm sure I'm not really saying anything anyone hasn't already realized. But sometimes it's good to hear it from someone else and just hear the question out loud. Because this is a question I'm asking myself. My knee-jerk reaction is like, hell no, I'm not going to the fucking Matrix. I'm not taking the chip. I'm not going to the Matrix, whatever. Like, nobody wants to say they're going to the Matrix. Or very few. Some want to build it and go in, and they're like, yeah, whatever, man. Like, I'm going to be, doing Matrix stuff. They don't care. But, and, for them, it's like, I can't tell them what to do, it's there. It's going there. And, this VR shit, my brother got, like, one of those, when he got his phone, they were giving out VR goggles, like, along with the phones for free or something like that. And, they want you to be able to test drive the virtual. And so I took it for a test drive. I tried tried a horror game, and I tried like one other thing, just like looked at it, and I was like, wow, it's pretty crazy. Like it tricks your brain for sure. I played this horror game, and like I threw my brother's phone and headset across the room because that shit, like, some of you probably played the game with like the demon monster thing and inside the lucid dream thing. There's an obvious parallel between lucid dreaming and virtual reality. They're obviously like some of these people designing this stuff are lucid dreamers and probably astral projectors, and I think they're trying to pull that stuff together. I don't even want to get into that, but it's there, dude. Like, they're making it right now, and they're making it so that eventually it will make itself. And that's a big deal. So, currently, what we're doing right now, it seems kind of innocuous. Like, it's a little silly. I'm talking to myself. And I'm talking to, like, future people, but, like, really, that's what writing's been for a long time. This is just, it's like writing, but it's a little bit more fun because you get to, like, see random people from, like, I don't know. Let's say you're in China, and, like, I'm just some American dude. I'm American. I'm from the South. I don't know if you notice. Like, I feel like I picked up a bit of an accent by this point, and that's cool. You get these personalities. You get more of a direct experience, where like the experience of a direct experience of a person, and that's fun. I mean, if you like personalities and whatnot. Anyway, another tangent that I'm gonna cut off from there and go back. But how many more steps are there until there's the Matrix? Like, how many more steps until we are incapable of turning back? Because right now I feel like, man, I'm actually considering, like, I don't need a phone to film. I don't need a phone to make phone, like, I don't need a smartphone. This is the iPhone. I don't need this shit to make phone calls. I had this because I was Ubering. I'm not Ubering right now. I might not Uber anymore because it's I know it's cost effective if you do it right. I don't feel like I was doing it the right way. But anyway, what I think is that though right now it seems like we're good and we got plenty of time, the riptide is coming, man, and like there will be that point. I don't know when. Maybe 100 years. But do you really believe that? I don't. I think in our lifetime, probably, like, I'm still in my 20s. Probably before I'm in my 50s, there'll be some serious, like it might be the time where you have to say, like, I can't be a full member of society anymore, because to be a full member of society is to submit my humanity to hand it in. I don't think it's paranoia. I might be wrong, but it's not paranoia. It's rational, and we're all saying the same thing. Like, everybody knows this. So I guess that's the question, because I'm considering going back to a flip phone, maybe just as sort of a symbolic statement to myself that I don't want to go beyond the smartphone, and so I'm going to do without the smartphone. Because I feel like if the smartphone is your line, then you should take a step back from the line. If the smartphone is not your line, then like keep the smartphone, but like find out what your boundary is, put your stake in the ground, and back away from it a step. Because it's a lot easier to get pulled over the line if you're standing on it. Okay, so I think that is all I have right now. And feel free to subscribe to this channel. I'm not sure how consistent I'll be with videos. I would like to do more. Like, this is just really, this video is because I know that if I don't put something up, that I'll just never start. So this was an end to procrastination more than anything. It's a step into the arena. Clearly, YouTube itself is not the line that I've drawn, but having a smartphone on me at all times may be the line, and it may be even beyond the line, to be honest. But having a presence in the virtual, or in the, the interwebs, whatever you want to call it, I don't think that's my line. It's not right now. It could change. If I need backpedal, I will. I see no reason not to keep the option open to retreat, the honorable retreat. But yeah, this channel is more so, I'm interested in conversation. I'm interested in feedback, video responses, video chats, entering into the conversations taking place, because we are in a very important point, and a lot of things are happening, and people are seeing it, and good conversations are springing up. So I'd like to be proactive. I'd like to take part. That's what this video is, and that's what this channel should be. Thanks a lot. Feel free to subscribe, comment, and talk to you guys soon, later.